Yo, welcome to the Scoop with Dukes. I'm your host, Philip Dukes, aka Dukes the Scoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Dukes the Scoop. And please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. If you have not already subscribed to become a member, go look in the description. Become a member. Go to the channel page. Become a member of the fam. We are the fam. All right, guys. So today, not long from now. What's up, Jennifer? In about right around an hour from now, you will see your Colorado Buffaloes take on the Delaware Blue Hens of Conference USA. So I thought, no, we've never done this. Let's go live before the game. Big Dog Chico got you through the game and after the game. I'm coming on right before the game so we can talk it out. You feel me? We never done this. We've never done this. First time for everything. So as you come in, go ahead and make sure you drop your location like we always do. But today we're going to talk about what we want to see from the Buffs. Everybody has their list. Man, let's shout out everybody on here. Put everybody on screen first. DJ H, what's happening? Big Beast Franklin, what's up, my brother? Oz Brian said, let me get that Eagle shirt you had on. Man, I got the hat too. Straight Fanatics. Echo That Media in the building. DJ Big O, Indiana's finest. So what we doing? What we doing? We got okay. Put me down, Jay. Put me down, Jay. We got Latonia, Philadelphia. We got everybody checking in. What's up, my boy Apostle? Naptown in the building. All right, first and foremost, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, everybody wants to see Colorado be successful offensively. Everybody wants to see Colorado put up a dominating performance. I want to see Julian Lewis. Now, I know what we got. When you go back and you rewatch that game with Caden Salter didn't play bad at all. Like, did he miss a couple throws? Yeah, but who doesn't? Did he keep Colorado in a position to win the game? Absolutely. Do I think the offense can be tailored a little bit better to support his strengths? For sure. But he didn't play bad. I just want to see Juju. You got to understand the history that goes along with wanting to see a guy like Julian Lewis, someone who's been a prodigy forever. It's like the first game where you saw Wemby or something. Like, the first. Okay, perfect example. When I went to go see the San Antonio Spurs in Summer League for Wemby's first game, a lot of people just wanted to see how the prodigy reacted to a pressure situation. Knowing that Wemby was going to be a guy, you weren't sure if he was going to be the guy or was he even the best player at the time on that team. Everybody wants to see a prodigy. So I think that's why I'm really excited to see Juju play. But don't take that as any type of slight to the job that Caden Salter did. When you go back and look at it, some of the reads that he made, first of all, imagine the excitement that he had in a game like that against Georgia Tech, who I think is going to be a problem in the ACC as well, in a highly contested battle, especially. And I think you didn't get a check, and this is me, no slight to Coach Sherman. What I would have loved was the ability to see Caden Salter's first pass, hindsight 2020, but the ability for him to be able to look downfield on that first pass of the last drive. I just felt like the play call, the read was to the flat, the play was set up to the flat, they were ready for it, and they got hit and they stayed in bounds and they killed a lot of time. I would have loved to see K-Salt been able to look downfield and wait to see if the DBs turn their backs on him in man coverage, or to see if they were just going to sit around and wait till somebody ran in and out of their zones and Caden Salter got to drop a dime on somebody. That's what I would have liked to see. But we didn't get a chance to see that. What that also tells me is that he didn't get a full compliment to be able. I don't think that Julian Lewis playing today is an indictment on Caden Salter at all. So I just want I want to make sure that people understand what I'm saying when I say I want to see Julian Lewis. Something else I want to see. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah. We got monetization on? Yes, we do. Something else that I want to see. I want to see what happens when you give Michael Welch 15 carries. At least 15. I really want to see what happens when you give Michael Welch 20 carries. But doesn't Michael Welch seem like the type of back that is, as the game progresses, he gets better? I would love to see that. All right, so look, y'all know as super chats come in, you got a question. I try to get to some of the questions, but the super chats takes precedent. So I'll get back to my point. Well, let's go with Marty. My man Marty from Canada. What's up, Marty? Marty says, and thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, I know they ain't looking past Delaware, but you looking for a dominant performance? Absolutely, I'm looking for a dominant performance. I don't think this is just about proving it to the country. This is about proving it to Colorado. Georgia Tech wasn't like, just a nobody. Georgia Tech is a formidable opponent. There are certain things and there's certain play calls that you just don't make against Georgia Tech because of how good they are and the challenge they present in your first game. I think you see some things I think you see some things on film today that they're going to put on film, not just to see if they work, but to put it on film so Houston has something else to worry about. So I think you do see a few more trick plays. I think you do see more spread. I think you see, I think you see more quarterback design runs. I think you see a lot of these things. I think you see a lot more blitzing from non-traditional positions because, and this is the importance. And I'm gonna say this, and as y'all get to know me in a football mindset, the importance of what you put on film and what a team has to prepare for. This is for everybody that played ball, any kind of ball. I don't care if you ever watch film, coach film, I don't care what it is. If you play and you spend a ton of time going over one play while you watch a film, and that offense comes out and doesn't do what they put on film, that's one of the most deflating feelings in the world, especially to a team that's like, hey, man, we worked all week. We got it down pat. We know what they're going to do. And they come out and you don't see that formation at all. Right? So I think it's important for Colorado to put things on film today that they hadn't put on film previously. And I think I think that helps Colorado be more prepared because they're going to do things that Delaware hasn't seen today. And so I think all of these play into my reasoning why I think Colorado will be dominant today. But man, great question, man. I appreciate the super chat. And we just had 20 comments go up. Let's see. And I appreciate you. So it said we got 98 watching, 49 likes, man. We appreciate it, man. We got 100 people in here. That's pretty cool. We never done this. Y'all want to do this every week? We got to do this every week. Every week we ought to do this for sure. Texas Truth said, I feel you, Dukes. Hell, put 3-4 trick players on film just because. Make teams worry about it. You got to, man. I think it's really important. Aaron Lockett said, let's hit up Central Station. Let's go. The new station, they said the new station open till 6 o'clock. And you know that sector of Old National, we getting off football right quick, but my man said, let's hit Central Station. What's up, Aaron Lockett? You know that part of Central Station right there where it is at College Park. The ordinance has always been that part of College Park had to be closed at 2 o'clock. They just got it open till 6 o'clock. So I don't know. Let's figure it out. Yeah, the new station, the new Central Station at where Insomnia used to be on Old National, right across from the Tropical Cuisine. Shout out to the Tropical. So hey, how many points y'all think get scored today? How many points do you think get scored today total? What are y'all score predictions? I'm looking for about 6 to 7 touchdowns. You can see I'm looking towards about 48, 49 to 10. I'm somewhere in there. I think they really go crazy today. I'm looking to, I would like to see a 50. Now let's see what Vegas is saying. Let's refresh this right here. Let's go see what's going on with the spread. I'm not sure if there's been a ton of movement. I do always like to follow the movement though, for sure. Good gracious. Hey man, they say the point spread. the Florida State point spread is ridiculous today. These folks said Florida State favored by 80 points. That is insane. All right, let's go. So right now, real quick, we're gonna slide over to. Let's go check out the spread with mybookie.ag. All right, so if you do like to bet, man, go check out mybookie.ag. This is where I go get my scores from and go find out the overs and the unders. Right here, you can see Colorado Buffaloes only favored by 24, and the over under being 49.5. So what that's saying is, if they're predicting the score to be, let's say 24, 14, they're looking for it to be like 35, 36 to 14. So they're calling it 36 to 14. I think Colorado scores way more than 36, but to have an over of 50 points right around there, that's what they're predicting, 36 to 14. If you do like to bet, man, go to mybookie.ag. Use my code DSCOOP, the letter D SCOOP. They're actually they're matching your initial deposit. So yeah, man, go check them folks out, man. But they use the real accurate, and you get your bread back. But yeah, I'm going with the over, man. That's how I feel today. Albany, Georgia in the building. Hey, D-Rob said we're gonna be winning by so much. Mata getting in that running back. That's crazy. Reggie Swan, what's up, big dog? He said, Duke, we need to put up 50 plus points on the bench and get the starters out and get ready for Houston. See, that's the best part about it. The best part about being able to have one of these games where you should be able to take advantage of it is when you got 8 deep receivers and an 8 deep offensive line, you can really extend that dominance past your starters and keep people healthy. So I think that's a great point. Andre Wright has an interesting point. What's up, Dre? He said, if you go back and rewatch the game, they definitely out-schemed us. Offense versus our defense. They had their big linemen on our linebackers and DBs mostly in the entire game. I mean, you got to read your keys against those type of offenses. It's like what happens when you go against. Y'all remember back in the day those wishbone offenses? Well, that's all it is. Basically, you mess around and you jump out of scheme. You jump out of your gap. The defensive line doesn't read their keys in certain points. Now you got a bad matchup that you really can't win. Like you can't stop a guard. A 230-pound linebacker can't stop a guard coming weak side with a full head of steam. You just can't do it. You just can't. When linebackers have to go spill, they have to get their head of steam and they got to be first. So if the linebackers play on their heels based on the scheme, it's always an issue. Andre, I know you got to have some coaching in you. I know you know I'm right. Man, Aaron Lockett, man, I appreciate the $3.99 super sticker, man. You ain't even have to do that. You just had a good question, but Shoot, Aaron Lockett gave me a good question. I answered it. He dropped $3.99, man. I appreciate that. Dude, the school, FSU 70, Eastern Texas 0. Yeah. Hey, that spread was crazy. And one thing I do know about Cuz Malzahn, if he got your number, he'll try to score 100 on you. But if you got his, it's going to be hard for him to score. Demostocles G. I think I said that right. It's too late, but we shouldn't play good teams first game because some teams are better than others getting Kings out. Yeah, but you got to, right? I think you got to. I'm glad you got that. I'm glad you got it out last week. You got a lot of fear. I mean, you when you play a good team first, playing a team like this is, I think, I'd rather get the jitters out early. So now you play, and I'm not saying Delaware isn't a good team, but they're clearly not on the level of a Georgia Tech. But by being able to get some of those jitters out early, I think it balls in your favor. The boy Dre said, most definitely dudes talk their talk. I'm telling you. Playing for Birdie said, I was only concerned because the DC said this week CU plays an offensive scheme he's more familiar with. In Texas, we learned how to stop option football in Little League and high school. Read your keys. Shoot, in Georgia too, man, like growing up, playing teams like Marist High School, anybody from the Atlanta area, you know Marist is notorious for running that wishbone, man. Sean McVay used to run it. Matt Harper, like, you know, they notorious for it. And if your eyes are bad, you lose. And it takes practice. And I think the worst part about it is, like, back when we were growing up, that option football, you usually didn't see an option football team being followed by an air raid team. But this year, like now, when you get a team like that, and then you got to go prepare for like an air raid team like Colorado was doing this week, those transitions are hard to do because you got to forget the football that you tried to learn last week. Luckily, you know, some of that stuff, you know, you can see the traditional football still reared its head last week because some guys weren't reading their keys. So I think it could have like both effects to it. But you're right, playing for Birdies. Somebody said, Ert Russell at Georgia Southern. Boy, you better say something. Man, KA with the $1.99 super sticker. Man, KA, if you got something you want to say, man, it'll go to the front, man. We appreciate it. It don't matter how much you spend, bro. If you spending, you're going to get your point across. And you don't have to spend to get your point across. But if you do spend, you definitely getting your point across. Mitch Hayes said, checking in from the shop. What up, dudes? What up, Mitch? He's a member. I appreciate it. Aaron Lockett said, hated them. I'm telling you. Well, you know. Sunfire Brown, her grandbaby went off last night. Grayson had a good game. Her grandbaby, that big tight end from her grandbaby, that big tight end from Grayson, man, they keep one. You know, he getting great reps. Shout out to Sunfire. Von Rando, hello. ATL in the chat. Boy, ATL is in shambles right now. What's up with Thug? Boy, Thug had that phone burning up, didn't he? Good gracious. KCZ, what's up, big dog? But yeah, I think I'm Tiny in the building. Apostle 06 got a good question. You think Juju will eventually take over starting quarterback this year? Barring an injury, I don't think so. Because I don't think you have to. I think Caden Salter is good enough. I think he plays. I think he has a package or two the remainder of the year. But I'm not sure if he ever just overtakes the quarterback job. I think Caden Salter just does so much. Now, could there be situations where Juju plays more based on what the situation is? I absolutely think there could be that type of situation. But we'll know today. We'll definitely know. And you'll see how the offense responds. But I think as far as taking shots when you need to get down the field, and I think the offensive line can keep you clean. Like, I want to get into some of those Pro Football Focus. I just had a crazy week. But I was looking at some of the Pro Football Focus elite stats. And when you go look at the kept clean percentage, as far as how many times Caden Salter had a designated drop back from a clean pocket, the offensive line. Now, I always like to preface me using Pro Football Focus stats by saying it is not the end all be all because you never know what was called. And so they can only grade what they see. It's basically like going to the grocery store, seeing a kid acting up, and you say, oh, that's a bad kid. But if their parents told them, hey, you can express yourself however you want to, and their parents' eyes, they being good. So it's really about, now to us, that may be a bad kid because I don't know why this kid in here express yelling and stuff, but they parent teaching them that. And it's the same thing with Pro Football Focus stats. If the offensive coordinator tells you to do something that's unorthodox in traditional football and you do it, you can grade out high for them, but not grade out high according to football traditionalists who only have a part of the story. With all that being said, Pro Football Focus said Caden Salter, the offensive line did a great job last week. And you may not see it in the individual grades, but when you break it down and you go look at Caden Salter's kept clean percentage of design drop back throws, outstanding. So I think and all I'm thinking about is if you keep him clean, if you kept Caden Salter clean, and this is not his throws on the run or when he bailed or anything, man, imagine how effective Julian Lewis would be in those same situations going downfield. So just to answer your question in a long-winded way, I do think that Julian's going to play for the remainder of the year as long as his play is up to par. I don't know if Caden Salter plays as well as he played last week with with some different play calls. Let me say that. And I think he keeps that job for sure. See, okay, boom. Okay, Willie Walker. What's up, Walker? The boy said the receivers weren't holding up their blocks. Right. So you can see some of that on Pro Football Focus, right? But when you go look at who graded out the highest on Pro Football Focus, it just goes to my point. We may have seen some guys, lose a block. But on Pro Football Focus, the receivers were the highest graded. It was like the four highest graded run blockers last week, all in the green, all in the 80s, were wide receivers. So that's why I say you got to take the Pro Football Focus with a grain of salt because it could be on the key down where you saw somebody lose and you saw somebody lose in a start blocker situation. Fat Don, what's happening? Playing for Birdie said if K-Salt runs, the rest of the offense will open up for everyone else. Agreed. I think if he runs, for sure, the rest of the offense opens up. I think quarterback design runs, not just scramble drill, but some real options for him to keep the ball in a way where he could get to the perimeter. I think those, look, I'm the type of guy, we could just break it down to Madden. If I'm playing Madden and somebody kick my tail doing something, I'm adding that to my game. I'm not stubborn. Coaching middle school football. So Cam and them got whooped the other night. I went back and I looked at what they was running. Like, hey, we need to add this, coach. I'll tell them my partner, the head coach. I'm like, we need to add this one. So yeah, I think some of those quarterback design runs with some of those pre-snap motions, some of that guard pulling they was doing in order to get those offensive linemen to the second level, absolutely. Greg Nixon said, what kind of season you think O Miller needs to enter the draft early? Man. Is he even eligible? I thought O Miller was just a sophomore. Was he not a freshman last year? Or was that? Well, I'll follow that up. But let's say he is draft eligible. And I got to follow up on that. But I thought he was a sophomore. But he would have to go crazy, I think. Yeah, it just like, first of all, the class is crazy this year. Secondly, it's going to be crazy every year. But I just don't think he's got enough film. Like, even going crazy this year, you want to have like a season where you've shown some dominance in different situations. I think this is a good season to announce, hey, I'm here. I can see a season, maybe 60 catches, 900 yards, something like that, over the rest of the time. I think that would be a great season to announce he's here. And if you duplicate that, or even a little worse next year, you still league eligible for sure. I would love to see him go crazy though. Yeah, this is year 3 for him. So I it just looks like a 4-year guy to me to make sure that he gets everything he's supposed to have. Like, I don't like rushing kids to the league at all. Like, I think you got time. I think it's time to develop and just put some, like, you take the injuries away. Man, absolutely. I'd be like, yeah, he wouldn't even need a ton, because when you put enough on film, it don't take a ton of college production, especially when you got a lot of guys behind you. But I think him being in that role, like where he is now, I think he needs a season. Yeah, I wouldn't rush him at all. But not to say I don't think he's capable. Because when you just talk about a good receiver, when I talk to quarterbacks that in Colorado, off record, Omarion, yeah, they know. Like, it's not even a question. I don't think, if y'all don't remember, man, for guys who've been following me, I did a breakdown where I was surprised. I was like, man, Omarion Miller is him. I went to go look, like, oh, snap, buddy, go crazy. But like they say, Salty Vet said something, he got to stay healthy. And this is the motto. This is a motto in college football, but it's definitely a motto in Colorado. Your best ability is availability. But if he's available, every tool in the book you want from a wide receiver. Yeah. I think a lot of people like kind of echo that sentiment, but I think there's just so much more to being a wide receiver than being big and fast, right? Your leadership, um, habits, right? On and off the field. You know when that light bulb goes off. I tell the story all the time of when you can see guys when that light bulb goes off and they really see the light. And me just knowing, I remember and I tell the story all the time about um, being in school, me and Ronnie Brown, who ended up being number 2 overall pick for the Dolphins at Auburn, and just watching Ronnie Brown, skip over steaks. We had steak night every night in the athletic dorm. And not every night, excuse me, every Wednesday in the athletic dorm. As many grilled with ribeyes you could eat in spaghetti. Every Wednesday, as many as you could eat. They were putting them on the grill in the back. You could smell the smoke. Steak night, Sewell Hall. Ronnie Brown was eating a salad. And I know how much we used to eat when we first got to school. And I'm like, what's up with you, bro? You're like, man, I'm trying to go to the league. Hey, man, my body's that's how I make my money. I knew the light bulb, it went off. Like, about a week later, we was watching, we was at home, or we was at the crib, like at my partner house, and we were watching Georgia Tech versus somebody. And PJ Daniels was the running back at the time. And he flipped the channel. And we from Atlanta, so we're like, hold up, bro. We watching Tech. He wanted to watch Texas. And he was like, I want to watch Cedric Benson. And at the time, God bless his soul, Cedric Benson was looked at as the number 1 running back prospect at the time. Now, mind you, he's already playing with Cadillac. So Ronnie Brown, Cadillac, and Cedric Benson were the top 3 running backs chosen in that draft that year. But his mentality the whole time was, I want to be the best in what I eat, in what I watch, the people I'm around. I want to be the best. And so when that light bulb goes off. So let that be for anybody who's has kids around them with NFL dreams, or, you want to know, are they ready to go to the next level? Even in high school, unless they're just supremely talented, in order to go high D1 or go Power 4, that mentality got to go off. Willie said we were mad when Toby went to Auburn. Man, that's my partner. Shout out to him, man. This son, Quinn just came back too. Quinn had those knee injuries, but he's back. He looked like he's got another one. And shout out to Braden. But yeah, I'm gonna bring him on the show, man. That's my dog. That's one of my good friends for sure. I like Juju, but I hope Coach Prime tries to bring in Andrew Body from Alabama State next season. Yeah, I mean, I think I like body, you know what I mean, but I I I just don't. You just haven't seen Juju. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, sorry about that. But y'all talking to each other. I put the wrong one. What up? What up, Eric? The boy Eric. See right. Defensively, what I want to see is clean play from the DBs because they about to throw. They gonna throw that ball. You gotta see clean play. So I was Auburn this week had some key holes last week, right? Holds, HOLDS, and they put their DBs. They practiced them in mitts last week, like real live mittens. So they didn't have to, they couldn't grab, they couldn't hold. So they put them in mitts last week. So they had to work on technique. I would like to see Delaware's gonna throw the ball around. I would like to see the DBs have a clean game today. Like no holes. Just clean, technically sound defensive back play. I would love to see some really good run support from the safeties. Before the season, I said my biggest fear or one of my biggest worries for Colorado was going to be up the alley, linebacker play, safety play. I think the linebackers could have done a little bit better, like fitting their keys, but I just think that was a very specialized offense they were playing against. But I saw so much run and hit capability. Martavius French showed he has a nose for the football. He's just going to be around the ball. So I just want to see that increased play. I want to see the DBs being stripped. I want that second guy to emerge. We know DJ McKinney is the first guy. I want that second guy to emerge. Is it Tion Parks? Is it RJ Johnson? Who's the guy that you trust on that perimeter? Who do you say, you know what? We got a bracket of guy on the other side. And I might want to send DJ McKinney. There's some I want to do. I want to run some trap coverage to DJ McKinney. But we got a guy on the boundary side that we feel like should be covered one-on-one. Who do you give that job to? So we got, who do you give the job to cover somebody one-on-one and it's not DJ McKinney? I think that's what you got to figure out. These are questions that you want to know, right? Like these are questions that make a difference when it comes to the trajectory of this team. Ryan Williams didn't get off last week. Jeremiah Smith didn't get off last week. Cam Coleman didn't get off last week. Okay, none of the top sophomore receivers got off. You saw a trend where you saw a couple none of the top wide receivers just had this crazy game. It's coming. Teams are going to get the ball into these wide receivers' hands. You have to be prepared. So I think it's going to be important, man. I really want to see the DBs be successful and be competitive without grabbing. I was okay with the offensive line play. I want to see how they handle a mobile quarterback that wants to throw it. Last week we saw what happened when you had a mobile quarterback that didn't really want to throw it. It was like, look, bro, I'm running the ball. Don't matter. Right? I want to see what happens when you got a mobile quarterback in Minakuchi who's looking to throw off the run and see if guys are going to be disciplined. But yeah, I'm like I said, Brandon Miller, like I said, I'm looking for Juju to shine today. Me too. I definitely am. And I'm excited to see, man, I'm excited. It'd be good for the city of Atlanta too, man. Just checking out Facebook. What's going on, Facebook world? I saw somebody make a mention of the uniform combinations. What's been y'all favorite uniform combo for Colorado? Y'all could drop that in the chat. What's your favorite uniform combination? Everybody has everybody has a different opinion. I like the triple black. No. Give me gold helmets, black jersey, black pants. I like that one. Playing for Birdie said he went with the all whites. All white Stormtrooper. They pretty hard. Leon with the traditional. Yeah, Stormtrooper. Yeah, that Stormtrooper white go crazy. It does. I like that gunmetal gray too. That gunmetal was pretty dope. Yeah, Drew ready to put on for the A for sure. Yeah, that all gray. Yeah. That all white gold helmet is crazy. All black with the gold helmet grill. I like it. The gray. Yeah. Okay. So look, y'all look, I'm it's almost game time. I know everybody got to get to where they got to go. One of the places that you should go is to go see Big Dog Chico. So that's been the pregame show. What we'll do is definitely be back here for post game. I may not go live. I may drop a video, but we'll go over the game after the game. And this week, I'm looking at doing some Colorado content 5 days a week. We may do the Duke's Daily Scoop. I don't know if it's gonna be live, but we're gonna put something out in the morning time. So you guys just be watching out for that. Maybe a little 10 to 15 minutes every day to start your day. I don't know if we're gonna drop it up about 9 o'clock. So you guys be on the lookout for that. All right. And as always, man, I appreciate y'all. I'll see you after the game. I may be checking in with Big Dog Chico. So y'all make sure y'all run over to his channel. All right, y'all, for sure.